This is a short screencast to help you with calculating your DPD grade point average. This is a short screencast to help you with just some of the details of calculating your DPD grade point average. You'll see in this week's section of PolyLearn that I've given you a link to the grading symbols that are consistent with the grades you've received from Cal Poly and from most other places. If you click on that link, you'll see that an A, an A is 4, a B is 3, and a C is 2. Most of you could have probably told me that. What we sometimes don't remember is that if you have a B plus, that's a 3.3, an A minus is a 3.7, and so on. After you've entered a few grades, these numbers will come easily to you, but these are the numbers that you should be entering in on this calculator, not the numbers that show the total grade points from PolyLearn. It's not designed that way. So please, if you're using my GPA calculator, these are the grades you want to have in front of you. Using your degree progress report, enter in the number of units that that the course was. So for example, FSN 121 was a 4-unit class. If you earned a B plus in that class, you would enter in that your grade points were 3.3, and the formula that's built into the spreadsheet will then calculate the total grade points for that class, which were 13.2, and that number should then match with the grade points that you see in PolyLearn. So continue adding, go on to FSN 210, the grade you got in that, the grade points for that, and so on for all the classes that you've actually completed. Units, letter grade, and grade points. What you'll notice is, so I picked an example, this is a hypothetical student that had very strong grades, mostly A's and high B's in their preliminary nutrition courses. And then in some of their sciences, they got grades that were a little bit more typical of what many students have. They had C's and C pluses and B's, and only an occasional A, maybe in math or something else. And what you can see is suddenly now this individual's DPD grade point average that was up around 3.3 or 3.4 is now down around a 3.1 up to this point. But you can also see that there are a lot of blanks. There are a lot of courses that this student still needs to finish. And again, as you add C's, especially in those high unit, 5-unit courses, it can drag your grades down a little bit. This is still a very respectable grade point average, but it's just interesting to see how it changes as you add courses through the curriculum. Then here's an example of a completed DPD GPA calculation. Again, for your work and the number that you're going to enter into DICAS, to this point, I would only fill in, for what I've asked you to submit, only fill in the classes that you've actually completed. Leave the rest blank. Then once you've done that, save it as a PDF, please. And again, as we said in class, if you save it as a PDF and upload it to PolyLearn as a PDF, it will not change format. The columns will be the same, the numbers will be easy to read, and it'll be easy for me to have a look at. Again, this is not a form that you're going to use to supply to DICAS. It's only a tool to help you calculate your DPD grade point average. You will then finalize it after fall quarter, and that's the value that you will enter into DICAS where it asks you for your DPD grade point average. If you haven't taken counseling yet, or you haven't taken the community nutrition class or senior project, then those values will be left out of the spreadsheet, and only those classes that you've completed will be included. Also, if you are retaking a course, let's say you got a C minus in Chem 128 and you plan to retake Chem 128 in the winter, then I would leave that grade out of the calculation. It will ultimately be figured in at the conclusion and into your overall grade point average, but I would for now leave it out because you're going to retake it, hopefully for an improved grade. This is also a place where you can check on the impact of retaking classes. So if you save one version, which are the classes as they actually are, and then you save this spreadsheet with a different name on it, and you replace, let's say, the classes where you got C's, right here, replace those with B's or even A's for classes that you might take at a community college, and see what that will do to assess the impact. Will it make a big difference? Will it make a small difference? And then you can determine whether it's worth retaking those classes. And then last but not least, this is simply an Excel spreadsheet. The only formula on this spreadsheet is in this column right here. Oh, excuse me. Is in this column right here. And so when you, this cell right here is what's highlighted. And when you look at the formula bar above, you can see that what it's saying is take the value in B4, which is this value, and the asterisk is the Excel symbol for multiplication, and it's saying to multiply it by the value in D4. And that's how you get this answer, 13.2. So in the event that you do some manipulation in the spreadsheet and you lose the formula, you can either select a cell and say edit copy, and then you can paste that formula in where it belongs, or you can create a new formula. This isn't something that's difficult to do. I've done this for you so that you don't have one more thing on your list that you have to create in order to calculate your DPD grade point average. But should you need to make some repairs to it, this is completely up to you. It's easy to do, and it's a good skill to have, to know how to add in or manipulate a formula that's in an Excel spreadsheet. And I think this is the last slide that I have for this. Please, again, do your DPD grades up to those that you have completed so far. So for me, for this class, you won't include DPD courses that you're enrolled in for fall quarter. It'll be just things that you've completed up to now. Leave the rest blank, and that will give me a very good idea of what your DPD grade point average is. Of course, as you move forward, many of you only have FSN courses to take, and as you take more of those 400 level FSN courses, many times you will see your DPD grade point average go up. And again, that's something that you can do with this spreadsheet, is to theorize how high your DPD grade point average can go if you make all A's or all B's for the rest of the time while you're taking DPD classes. So think about that. And I'll close with that.